Man inherited a floating lake house. Locals warned him not to enter, but it changed his life forever. Elliot Rowe was making dinner when the phone rang. A notary told him he had inherited something from a distant uncle. Elliot was confused. His parents were still alive, and he didn't know anyone named Walter Jonas. The next day, Elliot drove to the notary's office. The notary gave him an old key, a map, and an address. He told Elliot the property was a giant floating mansion in the middle of Lake Conemaugh. Elliot packed a bag and drove there. The lake was only 40 minutes away. When he arrived, he asked the locals about the floating house. They warned him not to go. One old man said it should have sunk long ago. Elliot didn't give up. He rented a boat and started riding. The house was huge and scary. As he got closer, he saw it rise and fall with the waves. Elliot tied the boat to the dock and stepped out. He stood alone, holding the key in his hand. Then he unlocked the front door and stepped inside. But what he saw was shocking. Dust floated in the air as Elliot stepped into the hallway. The house was quiet and still. Heavy curtains covered tall windows. The furniture was old, but clean. It looked like someone had once lived here and left everything behind. He walked down the hallway and saw paintings on the wall. One showed a man standing near the lake with the floating house behind him. The name on the frame said, Walter Jonas, 1964. Elliot stared at it. The man looked like him. He moved into a study filled with books, notebooks, and papers. A telescope pointed out toward the lake. The desk was covered with weather logs and detailed notes. Some pages were from years ago, but one notebook had a date from just last month. That made Elliot nervous. Was someone still living here? In a bedroom, he found clocks frozen at different times. On the dresser was a small locket. Inside was a photo of a baby and the name Rowe, his last name. His hands shook as he picked it up. Suddenly, a loud clank echoed from below. Elliot grabbed a flashlight and followed the sound. Behind a curtain, he found a hidden door. It opened to a narrow staircase leading down. The air got colder as he went deeper. At the bottom, a hallway stretched ahead. Drawers lined the walls. One drawer was labeled Rowe. Inside were letters written to his father but never sent. One read, "I wish you had answered." Elliot felt a lump in his throat. At the end of the hall was a metal vault door. It had a sign, "Authorized eyes only, Jonas Archive." He turned the wheel. Lights came on. A projector started. A man with white hair appeared on the screen. "Hello, Elliot," the man said. "If you're watching this, I'm gone. But there's something you need to know." The man said his name was Walter Jonas. Then he paused and said the words Elliot never expected to hear. "I am your real father." Elliot sat down, stunned. His whole life had been built on a secret. But now he finally knew the truth. His life would never be the same again.